All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to Game and Compute. Here we talk about finances, career, money, side hustles, hobbies. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about, settlements. When it comes to financial settlements with past due, either credit accounts, loan accounts, accounts that are, maybe going to be charged off, or maybe they're in like the early phase of being charged off. A lot of times, what people might notice, if you've ever had an account that's like so old that like the bill's just not getting paid, there's no payment plan in place, there's no hope of them getting any money, they're not really getting any money from a person. They can't take it, the mail isn't working, their calls are getting blocked from the debt collectors to calling somebody. Usually what they'll do after a few years is kind of offer a settlement. And a lot of people are noticing lately that a lot of these companies are coming out of the woodworks and offering settlements. Meaning they're just trying to get any old kind of money for any old kind of thing. And so I would say, this isn't really a financial advice, but, in the past I've been in situations like that, but I haven't really heard of it happening too much at the rate, or it seems to be happening nowadays. Like, nowadays you're seeing loans, at least, I don't know if they're still lenient, because there was a time when loans were just approving annual body, and then they were saying that they're going to tighten up and the interest rates are going to increase. I don't know if that's happened yet. And then now there's also this trend of these like settlements, companies wanting to make settlements. I can't necessarily professionally advise people to, consider taking this direction, but it's some food for thought, to think about, debts that are going to impact credit, debts that are never going to fully go away. Maybe some of the debts you can't get sued for, but some you might be able to get sued for. And then seeing how much money you do or don't really have at your disposal. Sometimes you can get things onto a payment plan and just let them take the little at a time that they're going to take. That can be some relief, because then you have more money in your pocket more immediately. The downside is that it takes a long time, and so, that's going to cut into your budget over a length of time versus just wiping out that debt altogether. One thing that's cool about settlements is that, you're paying like 50% less, 45% less, 30-something% less, 70-something% less than you would. It can take something that's maybe like a $4,000 bill that you owe, a $4,000 loan or something, and it can be somewhere near like $700-800. Like, you can get that down like really, really, really low. They'd rather have $800 from you all of a sudden. So what usually happens when you call about the settlements, if you do want to take it, it's good to get it from them in writing, that they are saying, okay, this is the due date for this amount of money, this is how much they're gonna expect of you. It's good, according to Dave Ramsey, to not give them your bank account number, your routing number, maybe not even paying by personal check, because that information is on there. It's tempting to give the electronic, your debit card, your credit card information. It's tempting to give that because it's, You can do it over the phone, you can do it online. It's really simple and easy to do versus like going to get a money order or like a, you know, getting like a direct money order to mail to them by like registered mail or something, but to mail it to them, it can be really challenging to actually do that. So um, it can be challenging to have to deal with that. So one thing that I usually would say to keep an eye on um, is, are they willing to really work with you? When you call them, do they answer? Do they let you talk to a live person? Do they seem like they're trying to do some kind of shady business? Like, usually if you're like, okay, I got this email, I'm calling about this settlement that you offered, I'd like to set up a plan. Usually what they're going to do is they're going to try to get you to pay it like fast. So you'll usually say like something like, oh, like, can I pay it off? Say if it's the first of the month, can I pay it off on the 30th? Or can I pay it off on the first of next month? They're going to be like, no, we need it by this Friday, right? So they're urging you to pay it as fast as possible. If you can't pay it all off that fast, they're going to want to put you on a payment plan where you're still paying less, but you're also paying more. So you'll usually get a little bit penalized even further when you can't pay it all at once. And then you might get completely duped or taken if they have your bank account. They might say if it's like a settlement for like $800, they're offering you off of like a $4,000 loan. They might just go take that $4,000 because they have like the ACH, and they're just gonna take all your money. They might take more money. And according to Dave Ramsey, it seems like it's not really easy to get your money back when those types of things happen. And so it's a challenge. You lose money all at once, a lot of money that you weren't expecting, even though, honestly, if that's what you owe, if that's the original loan, technically that's what you would owe, in all honesty. So in a way, even if they are doing some kind of shady thing, it is their money they're taking, but they're doing it in like a shady way, and that could definitely screw a person if you're not ready to spend $4,000 and you're already struggling to pay $800 or so, and then they take out $4,000. That's a whole big difference. Like, that can be over a month's worth of paychecks for somebody. That can really, really screw somebody up. So there's that. And just in general, just trying to communicate with these companies. Sometimes they do get a little forceful and aggressive. One thing that it kind of helps to know that I've noticed, kind of study a little bit about different jobs, of the types of people who might call you when it comes to financial related things, right? So study about financial advisors if you want to get one. Study about debt collectors if you're going to talk to them. Study about, credit building, companies and services and things like that. Study about, the different types of people you would potentially interact with, either at like a bank or, whoever it is that you're going to be talking to about your finances. Like, if you have the time and energy, it helps to take a couple Google searches, YouTube searches at the least, and just look into like their job role. Because then when you start talking to them, you are a little knowledgeable of what they are and aren't supposed to do. When you have experience with them, you're able to kind of tell, like, are they doing this right? Are they doing some shady business? They have a lot of your private information, and so they could really kind of like take you on a bad roller coaster ride if they really wanted to. So making sure you just kind of have everything in place like that. And like, if you're going to pay the bill, just pay it. You can track something registered mail. If you do get a money order, keep that stub. Keep that stub and make sure it's processed, and make sure you get a written message that it's processed and complete in full, paid in full. They're not going to be coming after you anymore. They're going to not report back to the credit bureaus or report that you fully paid it off on time or whatever that looks like. You don't want something coming back and like biting you after you pay it, or after you're trying to make like a good faith payment, and then they come and just like screw you. Like, these companies sometimes can be really brutal. Their kind of viewpoint is you're taking their money. You took their money. They gave you their money. You signed paperwork that said that you would pay it back, and for years it wasn't getting paid back. And now that the economy's sucking, everybody wants their money back, so they're trying to get back some of it. And a lot of these companies will take a route that's maybe not too ethical. But then, they defend themselves by saying this is ethical because that was my money in the first place. So just kind of trying to know where they're coming from. I know we're all crunched on time. We're all crunched on energy. I know that, but it can take that extra few, ounces of energy to like go to the freaking Vons store and stand in line at customer service and, get the cash out to go and freaking buy a money order, and then go to the post office and mail the dang thing by registered mail and stand in the line. You might miss a couple lunch breaks doing that, but that's better than losing like $4,000 or all of your money unexpectedly, or having these people in your bank just like siphoning out whatever the heck they want to take. I think all of us have had that experience at least once. It's pretty natural to have an experience where you're like, you look in your bank and you're like, oh shoot, I didn't know that this automatic thing was going to come out, whether it's a loan or a credit card or or just even like an app subscription or something, gym, like the gym, membership or something. And then you're just like, I didn't expect to like be paying this right now. Or like that annual, what was that? They used to get me all the time, that freaking Amazon Prime. It was like a $99 a year Amazon Prime fee or something. They used to get me every single year. A lot of that stuff you can get a reimbursement on it. A lot of times they'll just refund you. Like, it's not like uncommon that if you catch it, you can get a refund. It's not a big deal. But I mean, you can't really bank on having the refund, but a lot of times there is a refund option. With these other kinds of like loan and debt collection kind of companies, it's not very common that they're going to go like this refund route when they feel like you already gave them your money. So yeah, that's kind of all I really have to say about that. I'm definitely noticing a trend, hearing from a lot of people about this trend of like debt collectors coming out of the woodworks, or a lot of companies are selling off their debt to debt collectors, because at least when they sell it off, they're making some money off of it versus zero money. And then those debt collectors, you already know that they didn't pay full price for it, and so they're just trying to make a buck off of what they paid. And so it's kind of like, in a way, it can be a way to, I wouldn't like recommend this necessarily, but it's like, if you're really in a bind and you're really in a tight spot, you might be able to talk your way into getting a settlement, even if they're not at that process yet. Especially if they are like on the way to selling it anyways. It's like, you might just be able to get a pretty good deal on something that you already owed. I mean, if they're gonna sign off on it and like approve it for you and stuff like that, it's like, I don't really know what, like, I know there are different beliefs and thoughts about, paying off debt, and like it needs to be paid in full with interest and things like that. But sometimes it is kind of like, you might want to, just get it over with and just kind of start fresh and not have as much debt or any debt, and be able to kind of make better decisions if you're really at a point where you can start making those good decisions and not have to worry. But yeah, it can be challenging. I know it's not like the easiest of things. But also it's like it's definitely becoming common lately for like people to be seeing all these emails about stuff. Google the companies if they're calling you, if they're emailing you. Sometimes it's like you might not even know what the company is. It might not really exist. If you have a lot of debts, like if something's getting like paid by some other, company, you might not even know that company. You might not even know what the debt is, if it's been like 6 years ago or 5 years ago or something. You might not remember what the heck it was from. And so just making sure you can like pay that kind of stuff off, get it off of your credit, get it out of your life, get it out of your face, out of your way. But make sure you're not getting screwed in the process when you're trying to like get yourself where you need to go. I would never recommend for somebody to do something that's going to be illegal or landing them in jail. If people want to kind of manipulate systems on their own, that's kind of their own business. I can't really tell people to do that. But I am noticing, for a lot of people, this is like not an easy way out, but an easy kind of option where everybody's kind of winning. The original company that loaned to you was getting some of their money back. The company who bought it off of them is getting some money from you, and you're only paying some of the money you owe. So everybody's kind of just losing a little, getting a little. And in the end, if you're the one who was the borrower, you kind of come out with like more. But that's, not everything's going to go to settlement. And it's probably not the wisest thing to wait till everything goes into settlement either. Because that can take years. And I don't think it really looks good on your credit history. But yeah, it's good to take into consideration. And yeah, that's it for now. But I just wanted to mention that kind of stuff. It's something that's definitely been coming up a lot lately. And yeah, it's interesting to see all the changes that have been going on a lot lately. It's just so much is changing lately, guys. I feel like every week is like something is just like drastically different. Like I haven't even really been paying attention to a lot of finance news lately because it's moving so fast and everything's so confusing that sometimes I just need to give it a freaking break. But these are kind of just some of the things I'm noticing just in conversations surrounding what's going on. So with that, thanks for listening.